He went from playing 9-man football in a small town in North Dakota to starting as a rookie guard for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Cody Mauch.
Thank you. Everyone talks about like they call it a rookie wall. You know, at some point a rookie's just going to kind of like hit a wall and just fatigue kind of sets in and stuff. And I'm like, you know, NDSU, we played 16 games. Like I'm not going to hit the wall. Like you definitely hit the wall at some point. Like just kind of second round of the playoffs my rookie year, and God was that loud. Like you can't even look over at your center and like ask. You have to be able to read lips, or I have to like, look back at Baker and
even
just
out
like
in the field.
Oh, it's crazy. Like we're this far apart.
What is the craziest thing a fan has ever said or done to you?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say this one, but do you want me to wear these, or is it okay?
Doesn't matter.
You don't
Up
have to.
I'll
Yeah.
probably just raw dog it for now.
Sounds
works.
good. We just do it so we don't talk over each other all the time.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Beyond the Spotlight podcast, hosted by myself. My name is Jack.
And I'm Aiden.
Today we have Cody here with us. Welcome to the show, Cody.
Thanks, fellas. Excited to be here.
We want to thank our sponsors before we get started. Giant Snacks, Brushmark Science, Digital Guru, All Sauger Meats, Woods and Irons, North Dakota State College of Science, and the Black Pelican here, which is where we are right now. So thank you to the Black Pelican for having us in. He went from playing 9-man football in a small town in North Dakota to starting as a rookie guard for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, an All-American, second-round draft pick, and one of the most recognizable faces in the league. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Cody Mauch.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We got an intro for every one of our guests
love it.
like that.
Those are your well-known highlights. Now let's get beyond the spotlight. How's it going today?
Good, doing great. Yeah, like I said, just getting married this weekend, so kind of getting geared up for that.
Congratulations.
Getting excited. Thank you.
Yep.
But no, doing great.
I'm sure that's busy. Getting married, dude. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's just with all the football stuff, you know, our off-season workouts and whatnot. It's like, oh, the wedding's like so far away, and then all of a sudden we finish our mandatory mini camp, and it's like, wow, we're a week and a half away now. Like it kind of just sneaks up on you. But yeah, again, I'm pretty excited.
yeah.
So how long are you in town for?
4 or 5 weeks, probably 5 weeks, I think is what it is.
And that's all you get out of the whole year pretty much then? Or are you back for like Christmas and stuff like that?
No, like once the season's over, we're pretty much off until whenever OTAs kick up halfway through April. So
Okay.
we have a good amount of time kind of after the season, which we'll spend some of the time up here just seeing family and whatnot. And then
Right.
it's also kind of Florida's a nice place to be in
For
February,
sure.
March. So we spend a good chunk of time down there too.
Well, we typically ask our guests in the beginning, like where they're from and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, we know that you're from just south of here in Hankinson, North Dakota. So what was it like growing up there, and how do you think it shaped you as a person?
I mean, I think the thing is, it's just people who are from small town North Dakota get it. Like, you just grow up, you are with the same classmates from kindergarten until senior year.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you'll add a couple people, but it's 18 kids were in my graduating class. Which was fun. I mean, I don't know. You know everybody. You know everybody in the school, in the town, and kind of have like a farming background too. Like that. Like, you want to talk about something that like shaped me into what I am now. Like farming absolutely is something that does that, because it's like you're 9 years old and dad wants you to go clean out a grain bin, and you hate your life because no one wants to go shovel a grain bin in the middle of the summer. But like little stuff like that teaches like work ethic and whatnot, and you just kind of grow to love it. Like it's fun.
So what was your earliest memory of football? Did you just play in the yard with your family and then you slowly got into it in school, or how did that go?
Pretty much. I mean, I remember we used to, my dad, had a couple jerseys, and my brother and I would put on his jerseys, just stuff them with pillows, and we'd go down to the basement, and my dad would just be all-time quarterback, sit on the couch, doesn't even have to get up, and just take turns, one-on-one between my brother and I, and then kind of growing from that, like friends would come over, and we lived in the country, so we'd take out the lawnmower and we'd like mow yard lines and out of bounds lines and stuff. And so like we were always doing something outside, but especially football, like basketball, stuff like that. And then I played. I think fifth grade. Fifth grade is when I started like actual football stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you started football. What did you play? Any other sports in high school?
Yeah, I played. So I did basketball, baseball, track, and I went out for golf for a couple years too.
Really?
So, yeah, I mean, the golf was just to get out of school, but
Right.
I did kind of whatever sport was in season. I would be doing it just because it's kind of have to in small town to be able to field the team.
Yeah.
For sure. And you're you're in the NFL. You're a pretty athletic guy. Were you pretty good at the other sports as well?
I was okay. Like I was pretty good at basketball, just as a tall guy in, again, small town North Dakota. Like it just, I don't know if I was good or not. I was just tall.
How tall were you in high school?
I'm probably 6'4" in high school, I think, at junior, senior year. So, like, that helped. And I don't know if I was ever really good at baseball, but baseball was fun. I loved it. And I threw in track. Like, I made it to state a couple times, but I was never anything special at that. It was just kind of, football worked out good, though.
Yeah, let's talk about 9-man football.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Dude, what is it like playing with only 9 guys on the field?
Well, I mean, like that's just kind of what you knew. Like, to me, it was weird to start playing with 11 guys on the field. You know, like you just kind of grow up, and we're always playing, 9-man ball. And the thing about North Dakota, because I think Minnesota 9-man, they play on a smaller field. I think it's like 80 yards. It's maybe a little bit narrower of a field too, but we were on a normal-sized field with 9 guys. So the name of the game really is if you have one good, fast athlete, probably going to make a run in the playoffs. And so, I mean, it was just, I don't know, different. Like, especially going to college, and I played left tackle in college. In high school, we don't even have a left tackle. So it's just kind of weird that, like, the position I played in college wasn't even a thing in high school. So it was definitely different, but I don't know. I loved it. Like, my buddies and I joke, like, I think, like, 9-man ball, we're like, yeah, that's real football right there. It's like what we knew, you know?
Yeah.
So 9-man football, what position did you play at the time then, or did you play multiple positions?
Yeah, gosh, I kind of had to do everything. Like, not that I did everything, but I played tight end, I played D end. If our quarterback went down, I go play quarterback. And I was the kicker. Like, you're literally taking every single snap. You know, we just didn't have the amount of guys. Like, you're on special teams, you're on literally everything. And looking back, like now, I'd literally just do offense. You know, it's like 60, 65 plays a game. Back then it was way more, 140. And it's like, how did we ever do that and not get tired? But I mean, here we are.
Yeah, during that high school time, though, did you... This is not a time for you to be humble, but you can talk about it. But did you stand out as a player in high school? Like, you were kind of like, this guy's going somewhere. He's going to go further than just high school ball.
I don't know if that, like, I didn't really notice anything until maybe, like, my junior year. And it kind of going back to the basketball thing, it was, again, just because I was a 6'4" guy playing receiver, really. Like, we'd get in the red zone, and it was just kind of easy to just throw the ball up to the 6'4" guy. And you know, one thing I'll always say, like, I always thought I had pretty good hands, which helped out, like, playing receiver or split out tight end or whatever. But I mean, I don't know if it really, like, if I stood out or anything, or if it was just the fact that I was a tall dude playing against guys who were, you know, maybe 5'8" at sometimes. But I guess junior year was when I was like, you know, maybe I could play college somewhere. At that time, I'm like, you know, a Valley City or something like that was, Wyndmere was like the highest I thought I'd ever go.
So how did you get into NDSU then? Or how did that go for you?
I just started, let's see, after my junior year, I went to the NDSU football camp, and I actually remember this. Went to the camp, you know, did the weekend prospect deal or whatever, and you know, afterwards, sometimes the NDSU coaches will pull you aside, and they weren't recruiting me at the time. And I remember Tyler Roll, he was a tight ends coach at the time, told me, like, hey, and he denies this to this day, but I remember this. He's like, yeah, you know, you had a great camp. At NDSU, we're not going to look at you. You know, it's just not going to work out. But you really opened up the eyes of all the other coaches here. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I know it. I tell him that all the time. He's like, I never said that. Yes, you did, dude. Deny. Then after that camp, they kind of started to, you know, come down to Hankinson, watch, came to a couple basketball games just to kind of like watch the kind of athlete I was. And I think it was maybe January, they called me and offered me a preferred walk-on spot. And so they were kind of loosely recruiting me throughout my senior year. And I mean, it was just kind of the call I was always waiting for. Like, NDSU calls you no matter what the role is. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So were you excited to go into 11-man versus the 9-man?
Yeah, that was kind of the thing. I get off the phone and I'm like, dang, it's like a different game, you know, like, let alone D1 football. But it's like, there's 2 more guys out there now. Like, what the heck? But I was excited. Yeah, like I guess every little kid's dream to go and let alone play college football, but being around this area to go play for NDSU, like, that was just kind of, like, I felt like that was so cool.
Yeah, how did your family react to that, and then the community?
It was awesome because I'd say, you know, in the Hankinson area, most people are NDSU fans just being we're 50 miles away. There's a handful of UND fans there too. And again, it's like selfishly, maybe some people are like, oh, like you should have went to UND, but everyone's just so happy for you. It's such a close community. Like they're happy for you. And I actually I called NDSU and told them that I think I'm going to commit to UND because that was NDSU hadn't really offered me anything. And I'm like, I'm going to call UND and tell them I'm going to go up there and play.
Yeah.
And Coach Hedberg for NDSU was like, just wait a day. And that was the next day. He called me. He's like, all right, we're going to give you a preferred walk-on spot. So it's like crazy how, you know, if they didn't wait that day, if they didn't offer me there, I would have went to UND, and who knows what would have happened then. So, but yeah, came pretty close to being a UND guy, which I never really would like anyone to know. But here we are. Yeah.
So when you went to NDSU, you were a tight end.
Yep.
When did you transition to being on the line?
It was, okay, so kind of the whole deal with that was I was a school start guy. I didn't even, like, first fall camp, I wasn't there with them. I was just going to start once school started.
Did you not have the option, or did you choose to wait?
That was just, I didn't have the option.
Gotcha.
You know, there's X amount of guys or X amount of roster spots for fall camp. I didn't make the cut.
Sure.
But it was like 7 days into fall camp, and I'm driving truck. You know, we were doing straw at the time, and I get a call from NDSU saying, like, hey, can you come, like, one of our DNs tore his ACL, like, could you come play, like, DN? So I get to NDSU that fall camp, 7 days behind everyone else, and I played DN my entire first year. So I was just kind of on the scout D line. I do, like, meetings with the tight ends a little bit and do indie drills with them, but otherwise I was pretty much with the DNs. And then one of the last practices of the season, I think just kind of as a joke, I don't know, Coach Riley, the O-line coach at the time, is like, hey, why don't you come on over and just take one tackle rep real quick? And so I did like a one-on-one tackle rep, and I'd never done that in my life. And I remember I won the rep, and yeah, had I not won that rep, maybe I never would have switched over. But then that spring ball, I kind of started to slowly do stuff, and then the next fall, I was full-blown O-lineman.
Wow. Interesting. And you started to get more minutes, or did you play at all your freshman year then?
No, I redshirted my entire first year. And then I guess my second year, so my redshirt freshman year, I was on the travel squad or whatever, but I did, you know, maybe playing blowouts, and that was about it. And then even another year after that, so my sophomore year, I was just kind of the extra tight end O-line guy, or, you know, if bring in a sixth O-lineman, I was that guy. So I'd get maybe like 2 to 5 snaps a game.
Okay.
And then after that, I kind of was when I started starting at tackle.
Junior, senior year then?
Yeah. Okay. Well, and then I had the 6th year, so we played that spring COVID season. You know, there was 10 games or so. I played tackle that year, and then the fall year, and then my 6th year. So I had really 3 seasons of starting. So
nice. Got some good experience.
Had it not been for COVID, I don't know if I ever would have, you know, gotten the tape or anything. Like, I got an extra year from it, and I was behind guys like Dylan Radens, Cordell Volson. Like, they were the 2 tackles, and you're not going to play over them. Like, they're both unreal, all-time NDSU guys, high draft picks in the NFL. So had COVID not happened, and I really got 2 extra years of starting from COVID, maybe it wouldn't have, you know, worked out. So as bad as COVID was and all that, it kind of helped me out, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So it almost sounds like you just really improved during that time. How is the coaching staff of NDSU?
I mean, I really owe them everything. Like, they, whether it's like the position coaches who just develop guys talent-wise insanely, it's especially like the strength staff, like Coach Kramer, our strength coach at NDSU. Like, I was a 220-pound tight end coming in, and I'm leaving NDSU at like 307 playing tackle, and like, that just doesn't happen, you know. Like, it's the coaching staff. Like, they really believe in guys. Like, he saw the vision, I think, the entire time, which is just crazy to see that in a 220-pound scrawny lineman from a really tight end from small town North Dakota. But yeah, they developed the hell out of guys, and I mean, it's just, I owe them everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we had Phoenix, one of your old teammates, on, and he talked on the strength coach. He's talked very highly on him too, so that's funny to bring him up. What about some of your other teammates? Did you have any other guys that you became like great friends with from that at your time at NDSU?
Yeah, we have. There's probably 8 or 9 guys in our I guess 2017 high school class, like that we kind of went through every year together. Just like the closest friend group you can imagine. Like
It's like a brotherhood almost.
it is.
when you're on
It
a
is.
team
And
like
it's
that.
Like you do everything with those guys. You go through like early on in college football, like maybe I'm wrong, but no one really loves football at that time because it's just long days.
Yeah.
You're practicing so hard and you're getting your butt kicked by the older guys all the time. And you kind of have the guys in your class who are also going through it, just kind of hating your life together. And that's kind of what builds that camaraderie, I feel like. So, like, guys like Noah Gindorf, Mason Hofstad, Costner Chang, and like Jake Cab. Like, I could go on and on about our friend group. But yeah, they're still guys we hang out, whenever we can, and we're all in each other's weddings and whatnot. So it's, good group of guys.
So how many rings do you have from NDSU then?
4. I have 4 rings.
That's unbelievable.
So 4 for 6, not bad.
Yeah,
and
I'll take
we
that.
lost 1 in Frisco. So I
Sure.
could have had 5, but yeah, we kind of got blown
But break
out
it
that
down
game.
though. How did that feel winning a championship?
Coming from 9-man, too.
Yeah, it's like just so cool. Like we hardly ever had a chance in high school to win even like a state championship. So my first year to go there, and again, I'm not playing on Saturdays. I'm just one of the practice guys, but the coolest feeling ever being in Frisco, rushing the field after we win. And even though I didn't really do anything, like you're grinding in practice, you absolutely feel like you earned a ring. And then that, like, especially doing it your freshman year, it just kind of like sets the standard of like anything less than this isn't a successful season because at NDSU, you win, and that's what 2016, 2017, whenever I got there, like NDSU just won ball games. So if you didn't win a championship, it almost felt like a unsuccessful season, So,
which is tough because, I mean,
that's
not
common.
a lot of teams. Yeah, not a lot of teams. Only one can win.
Yeah,
And so
exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So to look at it, like, even losing in the national championship, like, it's just
a bummer.
1 game short, but yeah, like it's just not a successful season. I'm sure a lot of teams would be happy to make it and whatnot, but you just aren't at NDSU.
So you had some first down celebrations.
Oh God,
at NDSU, dude. What is that feeling like? Are you just so stoked? Just first down, or what's the thought process?
Well,
there?
I kind of just started joking, like doing it in practice and stuff, because that's what the skill guys always do. You catch it, you get a first down, they do something, and I wasn't like me mocking them, but it's kind of like, I mean, that looks fun. Like, why can't linemen do that too? So I just kind of started jokingly doing it in practice, and then as you just get more comfortable playing, like the first year I was starting on the O-line, like you're just, stressed. You just want everything to be perfect. Mm-hmm. The more games you play, the more games you start, like you just get more comfortable in there. And eventually it's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like you feel so comfortable in it. And then kind of unconsciously, I just kind of started doing some of the first down stuff in games. And then people kind of liked it. And it turned into something like bigger than what I didn't really imagine for like it to be like a focal point or anything. But it was just like, kind of like us being idiots and like, I don't know, it was fun. Like it keeps the game interesting.
Yeah, you kind of became like known for it. But we watched some clips of you. There was like a couple different ones. Did you have one that like stood out? Like one specific
go-to?
Yeah, go-to?
No, I mean, not really. I just, sometimes they just kind of come to me in the heat of the moment. Like I'd kind of think like jokingly about like, oh, this one would be cool or something like that. Like, I remember one that I really liked was like I did like a bow and arrow one, and then you kind of just leads into a first down thing and just like stupid stuff like that. But again, it just, I don't know, we're just having fun out there while we're playing ball. Like it's just, I don't know, it just kind of happened.
Well, you had a ton of snaps out playing with those guys. I'm sure. I mean, how many games did you play at NDSU? A ton.
Yeah, shoot,
So,
I would. Yeah, I mean, you just get played a lot of ball games. Yeah, you get comfortable. Just playing the same position for 3 straight years, like you do. Yeah.
Was there any like key moments at NDSU that you can remember, whether it was a specific play or just any moment before you went on to the NFL?
Yeah, there were like I remember this was the year I was doing that whole extra O-lineman package. We were playing SDSU, and I hadn't got a snap all game, but we had this one play we installed, and I think we might have had it in for a couple weeks. Never really got ran, but it was a 4th and 1. I think it was Adam Cofield was running it, and we scored like a 70-yard touchdown. But it was 4th and 1. Like the play's designed to just be like a goal line, short yardage type play, and I got in for that. And I remember going out there. We're in the huddle. Like I'm just juiced up. First snap of the game. then they call a timeout. So I'm like, oh my God, like now I have to like sit here and think even more, like overthinking everything.
Yeah.
We go back out there, we change. It was going to be a run to the left. We changed it to a run to the right. And I just had a down block. Like it was nothing crazy, but just had a down block and the ball just kind of whistled right behind me. And we 70-yard touchdown to beat SDSU. Like that was probably the coolest moment of my college career. And it was a game I played one snap in, so like that was just so fun. And to beat SDSU too, like it just was that was a pretty cool moment.
That's like their biggest rival, right?
For
NDSU?
sure. Yeah. NDSU, SDSU, it's always a good game with them. Yeah.
Did you win the majority of those ones then?
I bet we about split.
Yeah.
There was a string where we lost to them, gosh, like 3 or 4 times in a row. And it's just like, it's the worst. Like you just couldn't beat those guys.
And the beef.
Right. Like, no, it's, probably about 500 versus in my career, I'd say.
As you guys can see, we're wearing some merch from Smile Like You Mean It. Here's the back of this one right here. Cody, you got one from those guys right there, so you can take that one with you.
Pumped up for it.
Awesome. We're giving this one away. So if you're watching, go to our Instagram. We have a post of Aiden and I wearing these crew necks. And all you have to do is like and leave a comment, and then you will be entered to win, and we'll contact you through DMs.
Thank you, Smile Like You Mean It.
Huge thank you to the Black Pelican for sponsoring this week's episode, as well as letting us come and film inside of their restaurant here today.
Their happy hour is from Monday through Friday from 5 to 7 p.m.
They have daily food specials, as well as their prime rib night on Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Located in Wyndmere, North Dakota, they were voted the best pizzas in the valley.
Their kitchen opens every single day at 11 a.m., so make sure you guys come and check out their food. It is absolutely amazing. I know we're going to crush a pizza after this podcast. And thank you, Black Pelican. When it comes to quality meats, trust the experts at All Sauger Meats. Family owned and operated with locations in Ottoman, Fargo, and now open in Breckenridge.
From hand-cut steaks to in-house made sausage, fresh seafood to smoked bacon, they have everything you need to elevate your meals.
They're open 7 days a week in Breckenridge, so stop in whenever you need. Plus, check out our meat bundle packages and our bulk beef orders for unbeaten value.
Visit allsaugermeats.com or stop into your local All Sauger store and experience the difference in every bite.
All Sauger Meats, your trusted source for quality and freshness. Thank you, All Sauger Meats.
When you think about North Dakota State College of Science, don't think about college. Don't think about desks. Don't think about buildings. Don't think about our expert instructors or our high-tech classrooms. Think about that new pickup you'll soon be driving. Think about decorating your first apartment. Think about that great job that's already waiting for you. Then, think about how you'll be doing all of those things in just 2 years. North Dakota State College of Science, the smarter way to college.
So, during your time at NDSU, when did scouts start to look at you, or when did you think that you could potentially make it further, or did you think that you could potentially make it further?
I'd say, maybe like later in that first year where I was starting that spring COVID season. Definitely not right away. Probably, 7 or 8 games in, I kind of was like, maybe I could sneak into the league and, be a tryout guy, something like that. Like that was kind of when I started to feel that maybe I could do something like that. But it was especially, I think, the next year. And what helped me so much was we had Cordell Volson on the line with us, and there were scouts there every single day to watch Cordell. And part of like how that helped me was the scouts are there watching Cordell. Well, they're also kind of watching other guys as well. So it helped that, there's scouts there every single day, and I might have, maybe they were watching me a little bit too, because then the next year, my senior year, we had scouts at practice every single day during fall camp. So I guess the one cool thing about NDSU too, it's like guys like Dylan Radens kind of did that for Cordell. Like, they're recruiting Dylan, but then there's Cordell, then Cordell to me, then me to Gray, like Gray Zabel, first round pick. Like it just kind of helps when you have another guy that the scouts are looking at, but you get watching other people as well.
So what does the transition look like from college to the NFL?
Like it's really like talent-wise, I mean, it's a big change. Like it's let alone going from FCS football. Like these guys are studs. Like these D linemen, like they shouldn't be able to be 350 pounds and run a 4.8 40. Like that just shouldn't be possible. Like they're freaks, and like every single snap's kind of a battle in there. It's like you no longer have like a cupcake team on the schedule where it's like, oh, we're gonna breeze through this game.
Yeah.
Like even now, some of the teams who maybe aren't the best teams, they might have the best D linemen. Like we played the Giants, not a great team last year, but they have Dexter Lawrence on their D line who takes 2 guys to block him at all times. So
Sure.
it's just crazy that every single team has dudes, and even behind the starting dudes, there's backup dudes. Like everyone is a dude in the league. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's a battle in there, that's for sure.
So like, I think I poorly asked that, but I kind of was going towards like the transition. Was it did you go to the combine? And
Oh,
then,
sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
draft.
I definitely asked that in a
No,
poor way,
yeah,
but
no. So
that
pretty
kind of thing.
much, we had the national championship game. We lost that game. That night, I flew out to Orange County, California, and I kind of started my draft training process there.
Sure.
So did that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I had the Reese Senior Bowl. Went to that. That was a week long, and that was a huge week for me because it's FCS guy. People are wondering like the level of talent you play against. Like, can this guy do it against the bigger colleges and whatnot?
Right.
So that was good for me. I had a good week down there. And also that was kind of the start of like interviewing with NFL teams. Like I interviewed with all 32 teams at the Senior Bowl, and it's rapid fire 15-minute interviews for 4 hours a night. Like it was a grind. Like you
That's
go from one
crazy.
team to the next, and as fatigued as you are, because you practice all day, you have meetings, you have other like media stuff. Almost the interviews are the most important thing, and they're stuck at the end of the day, and you just want to go and lay down. You're tired, but this is like a team's first impression with you, so you have to like be on it, and you can't like get fatigued.
Right.
So it was kind of a grind of a week, but it was a great week for me to kind of show myself to teams and whatnot. But
One question I have before you continue on the process: when you met with the Minnesota Vikings, was there a little bit extra juice or extra excitement, being that's like the closest team to us?
yeah, I remember. I don't remember exactly how the interview went, but I remember I kind of had that one circled. Like growing up a Vikings fan, it was kind of like how cool would it be to be able to go play there. So
Yeah.
I maybe gave that one like a little bit extra. Like, come on now, like got to make these guys like me. And
Yeah.
so I remember just wanting to impress the Vikes because that'd be so cool to go play there.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
I would do the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's like
man.
come on, like
everyone wants to
hometown
play.
team, of
Yep.
course.
Yep.
But
So
no, then after the Senior Bowl, I went back to Orange County for another couple weeks, just at that point now training for the combine. And, it's really unlike any training you ever do in your life because especially as like, lineman, it's always like strength training and like agility and whatnot. Well, now you're all of a sudden like straight line 40 training and all these different cone drills and broad jumps and stuff. It's just a completely different kind of training. And so it was a couple weeks of that, and then went down to Indianapolis for the combine. And the combine again was a long week. Like they schedule this thing to make it go early to late at night. Like just try to. I feel like they design it to just fatigue guys and
really
like
test you.
It just tests you. Like it's kind of your first big test. It's like it's your first job interview of your life probably. So. Just late nights, again, interviewing with teams, and then finally when you're done with, these long days and interviews and whatnot, well, then you go out there on the field work, which is kind of what you've been training for your whole life, really. So it's just kind of stuck at the end, and again, you're just tired, and, it's a long week, and then you go out there and you do all your running and whatnot, and, that went well. That was fun. It was a fun week to just be able to experience that, and
Do you think you're at the top of your game when you're at the combine? Because I'm sure some guys are maybe sick or something like that. It could happen,
Yeah, for sure. That was where I probably felt the best. Like
that's perfect, yeah.
But did you feel like confident with all of those other big dudes around you and like they're all performing so well? Did you feel confident that like, hey, I think I can actually do this?
Yeah, and I think the first time I truly like felt confident about that was at the Senior Bowl, where it's like you see these huge dudes and all these just freak athletes, but throughout the practices and the game and whatnot, you're like, I'm like doing good against these guys. Like I'm like that was a huge confidence boost for me. And then to go to the combine after that, you're kind of seeing the same guys you saw at the Senior Bowl, and you're like, yeah, they look like freak athletes and they're huge and whatnot. But like, remember what I did down in Mobile for the Senior Bowl? Like, it's kind of like the same thing. And at the combine, you're not really competing against the other guys. It's more like a competition against yourself and like against your practice times that you had during training. So Yeah, I mean, doing the Senior Bowl was kind of what instilled a lot of confidence in me that, like, I belong here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What was draft night like?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, like, I didn't really know when I was going to get taken. It could have been late first round until third round. That was kind of, I kind of figured that was about when it would be.
Sure.
And so we were trying to plan, like, what do we do for it? Do we just have something with just our family? We ended up just doing the complete opposite of something small like that. We went to the Hankinson Community Center, and Thursday night, we kind of just had, close friends, family, just on the off chance I got taken that night. At least we had something going on there, but we kind of knew Friday was going to be the big night.
Sure.
And so didn't get taken Thursday night, and I kind of knew it was going to happen Friday, so God, all day Friday, so nervous. Like, we went to Wahpeton, went to the bowling alley just to, like, for something to do. I'm just trying to get my mind off it. It was like all I could think of.
Did you play Big Buck Hunter? Because
I did. And that was the day that I got, like, the second all-time score or something. I threw that in my Instagram bio.
That was the day you got drafted.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
funny.
cool.
I took out all my pent-up aggression, just took it out on them bucks on Big Buck Hunter.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, if you go to Cody's Instagram, in the bio it says something like champion of Big Buck Hunter at Terrace Lanes, Wahpeton, North Dakota.
Might have to go back and reclaim my title. I think someone beat me out. I was like second or third.
Sure.
I mean, it was nothing crazy, but I'll have to make a trip back there and get my name back on the board.
Okay, so Friday comes, you go to the Terrace Lanes, and then you go back home. Then what?
Then pretty much we're just killing time. We show up at the community center, and we had no idea who was all going to show up. I mean, it was kind of just open invitation, like, hey, we're going to celebrate, the draft this night. Whoever wants to come can come. And by the time the second round started, there were hundreds of people there.
Wow.
And then by the time I got picked, I mean, there's videos of it. It was, 700 people there maybe. Like, it was way over capacity. I'm sure way over fire code. Like, it was, probably shouldn't have had that many people in there, but it was packed. It was so cool. I remember getting the call and sitting at a table with my family, and they all kind of saw that I got a call, and I didn't tell anybody, who it was. Even my fiance's like, where is it? And I wanted her to kind of find out with everyone else. I feel like would have been kind of like a special moment.
100%.
And Tampa was on the clock. They picked me. The place just kind of went crazy, and then don't know if I remember much of the next 2 hours. It was just a rush to do an interview here. I had to go up to the attic of the community center to do media stuff with Tampa Bay. Like, I was doing Zoom calls and whatnot, and 2 hours later, finally you could start kind of enjoying the night. And then, we had a pretty late night, just kind of celebrating, enjoying it. And then we had to leave at like 7 a.m. the next day to go to my buddy Noah Gindorf's draft party and out in like central Minnesota. So we didn't get much sleep that night, and then we were on the road for a 3-hour drive out there, and kind of a long weekend, but definitely pretty memorable.
Before Tampa picked you, did you have an idea of teams, or did you just didn't know at all?
I kind of, that Monday or Tuesday, my agent and I we ran through every team. He's like, all right, they're looking at you, but they don't really need a lineman, so maybe they would take you if you fell to the third round. We kind of went through every team like that, and he said, hey, like, Tampa really likes you. Like, that's a very likely spot. And I'm like, really? I would have had no idea. I didn't really have too much contact with them before, but when he said that kind of put the seed in my ear, like, maybe Tampa, I don't know. And turned out Tampa.
Mm-hmm. So how long after the draft night does it take for you to go and move to Tampa, I guess? Like, you got to pick up your life. You've been here your whole life and move down to Tampa.
Pretty much it was, I think we had it was like a week or so.
That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, and some teams, it's, if you're a first-round pick, you're out that night or the next morning to go there and do media stuff. And thankfully, I had at least like a week or a week and a half or so, and then I went out there for rookie mini camp, and then we kind of picked up the off-season stuff. So it was a week or week and a half after the draft. I'm down in Tampa for 6 or 7 weeks, just kind of getting thrown right into the off-season training stuff.
And how was that in Tampa for the first time, seeing everything, being a part of everything, meeting the different players?
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean, it was like looking back at it now, there's not a better place I could have gone to. Like Tampa is just, it's so beautiful. We love it. Like the weather's awesome. The people are great. The team, like everyone within the organization we love. And I kind of realized that right when I got out there. Like it's such a pretty place to live. You're right on the water. It was fun kind of getting to meet all the guys and the support staff and everybody. It was fun to start kind of building relationships with the guys and getting into the off-season stuff. Just head just is fuzzy as hell because you're trying to learn a new playbook and let alone do it against NFL players now. So it was just kind of a whirlwind. You know, your head's spinning, but it's kind of how they design it, you know, just how fast can guys pick it up and whatnot. So, but yeah, it was fun. I mean, the off-season training and whatnot, like just kind of got thrown into the fire, and it worked out good.
Of course, at NDSU, you have like a big video and the noise is going crazy. The Fargo Dome is just electric. But then you go down to an NFL stadium. What's that feeling running out of the tunnel for the first time? You got guys like Baker Mayfield and all those guys by your side, and you come out to this huge stadium. What's that feel like? Yeah,
it was so cool. Like I remember the first time I ran out, it was just a preseason game, but even that, just running out of the tunnel for your first leg, a time in an NFL uniform, like was just so cool. Like it was just a preseason game, you know, but I was gonna go in and I played like a half or whatever, but just so cool to actually do that for the first time. And then like for the real first time was week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Like that's like storybook cool.
Yeah,
How sweet
seriously.
is that? Like you're 4 hours from home.
Yep.
God, I bet we had 1,000 people from the area just out at the game. Like it was just so cool. Everyone was out there, and I like my family. They always tell the story of, you know, they're all wearing Bucs gear, and you know some of the Minnesota fans are kind of heckling them like, these Tampa fans or whatever. And my family's like, no, like I promise, we're one of you guys. we're cheering for number 69, like just for this game. But yeah, that was just so cool playing Minnesota for my first ever NFL game. It was unreal.
Did you get a lot of snaps that game?
Yeah, I started that game, played every snap. So
wow,
it was cool. It was, yeah, my rookie year was a big learning year. It was didn't have the best year, but it was just learning, you know, every single game, every single snap.
A whole different level of explain that, like the difference between that and college. Just like it's such a big difference, I feel like.
It is. It's a longer season than anything you've done, and one of the things that makes rookie year so tough is you go right from your college season into the training stuff. You don't really have any time off, into the draft. Now you're into off-season workouts. You know, you get a couple-week break, and then you're into the longest season of your life. And, you know, we made the playoffs. We won a playoff game, so we had 19 games that year. And even our longest season ever at NDSU was 16 games. And as long as that was, you know, this is 3 games longer. And, yeah, it was just kind of everyone talks about like they call it a rookie wall. You know, at some point a rookie's just going to kind of like hit a wall and just fatigue kind of sets in and stuff. And I'm like, you know, NDSU, we played 16 games. Like I'm not going to hit the wall. Like you definitely hit the wall at some point. Like just kind of mentally, you just feel it. And that happened, I don't know, halfway through the year or so. But once you kind of break through that wall, I started to play a little better after that. It's just confidence. So I actually played every single snap my rookie year, which was so cool, like something I'm pretty proud of. Yeah. And just with all those snaps, you know, you just get a little bit more confident every single time, and you kind of realize you're going to get beat. Everybody gets beat. You know, it's not college anymore. You're not going to go out there with a perfect stat sheet. Like everyone gets beat. Mm-hmm. So once you kind of realize that and learn from your mistakes, like I feel like you just grow a lot quicker.
Brushmark Science is a family-owned and operated business out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
They are a one-stop shop for visual marketing.
Their designers can create logos, banners, indoor and outdoor signs,
digital message boards, decals, and apparel,
as well as promotional items, window tinting, and more, and they ship nationwide. So if you're interested,
give them a call at
218-847-3599
or visit brushmarksigns.com.
Seriously, you guys, Brushmarks hooked it up. They came and installed these signs today, so super thankful for Brushmarks. You guys got to check them out if you have any sign needs. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Need a smarter way to manage your business IT?
Digital Guru's Desktop as a Service gives you a secure access to your desktop, files, and apps from anywhere.
No more expensive servers or security worries. Windows, Office 365, email, and more is stored safely in the cloud, keeping your data protected and your team connected on any device. Take control of your IT today.
Click the link in our description to visit digitalguru.com to get started now. Thank you so much, Digital Guru, for hooking it up with these microphones.
Enjoy our next ad.
Huge thank you to Giant Snacks for sponsoring this week's episode.
From sunflower seeds, pistachios, pumpkin seeds, and cashews, Giants has all the great snacks you need.
Check out some of the great flavors that they offer, from sweet Thai chili all the way to their newest flavor, Taco Tuesday. Seriously, guys, it is the best. There's a reason why they're in every MLB dugout.
It's available online or in stores near you. Go check out their taco flavor. Thank you again, Giant Snacks, for being our main sponsor.
Let's get back to the podcast. Discover Woods and Irons in Wapaton, North Dakota, your ultimate golf destination. With a family-friendly environment 6 days a week, it's the perfect spot for golfers of all ages. Adults can kick back with a drink from the driftwood, and if you're hungry, pizza is just one order away. Hours may vary during the summertime, so to check for availability for our bait, go to our website.
Whether you're sharpening your skills or just having some fun with your friends, Woods and Irons is the place to be.
Book your bait today. Thank you, Woods and Irons. So coming from a small town, was it pretty cool to go? Obviously, you got guys like Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, but then coming to Minnesota and seeing Justin Jefferson, all these guys that you've seen for the last few years, was that pretty cool to see all of them in person and play against them?
Oh, yeah, so cool. Like a guy like Harrison Smith, someone you just love watching on the defense. Now you're the guy who's supposed to go out there and try to take care of this guy. Like it was kind of weird, because you grow up rooting for the Vikes your entire life, and then now you're rooting against them. Like, you don't want Justin Jefferson to catch these 60-yard fades. It's just kind of weird, but pretty cool nonetheless, And we ended up winning the game too, which again was kind of like Vikes lost, but we'll take the win, I guess.
Do you still cheer for him a little bit deep down?
I'll tune into him a little bit more. Like,
Sure.
I still like watching him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any?
That's cool.
Yeah. Are there any defensive players that are just, I guess, just don't mix with your playing style? They're just pretty difficult to block.
Oh yeah, there are a handful of guys like Fletcher Cox. I had to go up against him twice my rookie year, and let alone how good of a player he is. I mean, he was a 14-year vet at the time. Like, the guy just knows ball. He he can look at your stance the way, and he just knows what you're gonna do. So then you add how much of a physical specimen he is to how smart he is. Like, guys like that are just. I got baptized a couple times by guys like him, and even like Jalen Carter. Like, he's such a good player. And then like Derek Brown for the Panthers. Like, he's I struggled against him my rookie year. Like, he's a good ball player, but guys like that are just, no matter what your skill set is, sometimes other guys' skill sets just beat you out at your best. So just kind of trying to work at, I guess, closing that gap a little bit,
Yeah.
Sure. And you'll get used to it too, I'm sure. Obviously, these insanely talented guys.
Absolutely, and you do.
And it makes you better.
It does. It really does. Like, you learn from it. Like, a guy like Derek Brown, the Panthers, we play twice a year. So it's like you learn from the first time you played these guys. Or we played the Eagles twice my first year too. And the first time was like week 3 or 4. And we played them again in the playoffs. And you definitely learn from, you go back, watch the film, kind of just learn, where did I get beat? How can I not get beat at that kind of stuff again? But, and then, the jump from year 1 to year 2 is also, like, you realize how much you grow in one NFL offseason. Like I said, I didn't have the best rookie year, but played all these snaps, learned a whole lot, and it really started to show in year 2. Like, I took a pretty good stride from year 1 to year 2. So it's just kind of with time, with reps, you just start to grow, I think.
And I feel like you have to stay motivated, not kill yourself about not being able to be perfect your first year,
Exactly.
I think it's your mentality.
Yep.
I was going to ask you, so when you're playing on an NFL field, I'm sure it's been a dream of yours forever. Are you pretty locked into the game, or can you tell with all the noise around? Like, are you listening to the crowd and all the, after a big play, all that kind of stuff?
Kind of like you. It's some places are tough to not hear the crowd. Like, one thing that we have to use our silent cadence so much when we're on the road. Like, we had first ever game in Minnesota, we didn't even use the verbal cadence one time ever because it's so loud there.
Yeah.
That you have to just kind of get used to the timing of everything with a silent cadence. And you definitely hear the crowd there. Like, we played the Lions in the second round of the playoffs my rookie year, and God, was that loud. Like, you can't even look over at your center and ask. You have to be able to read lips, or I have to look back at Baker and
even
just
out in the field.
Oh, it's crazy. Like, we're this far apart, and you can't hear the guy. Like, it's crazy how we, 65 snaps a game of that, and, you don't have any missed assignments or anything. Like, guys are you're so locked in during the game that you can hear the crowd, but you're not really hearing the crowd, if that makes sense, because you're just so focused on, I got to make sure my right tackle is on the same page as me. So you kind of tune out the crowd while it's the only thing you can hear, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Gosh, it's cool to hear all this insight from someone who's done it a couple years now.
It's the whole silent cadence was kind of it's kind of new to me. Like, we didn't really do much of that at NDSU. There weren't too many loud places, and then now half the games on your schedule you have to do silent cadence. So it's something that you just kind of get used to.
So we posted on our Instagram story. If you guys are not following, go check it out, because we do these interactive segments all the time. But we wanted to see what questions they would have for an NFL player. We didn't say you specifically, just because we didn't want to give it away. But some of these you kind of already touched on, but we still want to ask.
Yep.
So if you just want to give like a brief answer for each one of these, that'd be great, because there is 10 of them. So,
Gotcha.
What did the moment you got drafted feel like?
It was just so cool. Like, it was just a whirlwind of everything you've ever worked for, from high school to college, just kind of almost paying off in one moment. And you're there with 700 of your closest friends and family, the whole town was there. Like, it was just such a whirlwind of emotions. Like, it's so cool. Like, I remember looking at my phone, seeing, I didn't have the number saved, but just Tampa, Florida was what it said on the caller ID. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, it's so cool.
Awesome. When you were in college, did you realize that you had a shot at the NFL?
I didn't really realize till it was probably 4 years in that I had maybe a shot to go do it. And then by my senior year, I feel like I had a pretty good shot to, at least get drafted, and never really expected to go as high as I did or anything like that. But as time went on, I kind of started to feel like it's something I could do.
Awesome. Did you ever consider transferring to a bigger high school for more exposure?
Bigger high school?
Yep.
No, I never. No, not once. I mean, it was just kind of like, you're not leaving. It didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times these days it's a lot about, what school you're going to, and people are transferring all the time, even in high school, for sports. But it seemed like you didn't really have the NFL in mind at that time at all.
Oh, no. I mean, shoot, I hardly had NDSU in mind. Like, I was lucky to even be a walk-on at NDSU. So to transfer somewhere else, I mean, it wasn't really even a possibility. Like, I was, like I said, I was just lucky to get walk on to NDSU.
But you also proved that you don't have to go to a big school in Fargo in order to go to NDSU.
And then also, you don't have to go to a big college to get drafted high in the NFL. Like, you can do that at a smaller school like NDSU. So it's kind of, works both ways.
Yeah.
And start your rookie season, like, that's incredible. Right. Okay, like I said, we already asked these, but what was the transition like going from 9-man to college ball?
Yeah, like, the game's so much faster. Like, there's two big jumps, I feel like, in your entire, if you're an NFL player in your entire sports career, it's high school to college, because it's kind of the same thing as jumping from college to the NFL, where these guys they're grown men. These guys are just freak athletes, and the game is just so much quicker. Like, that took a while to kind of get used to. It's just, you'd watch film, or you'd be out there playing, you're like, oh my God, like, this is just moving so fast.
Yeah.
But again, with reps and just once you start to know what you're doing, it kind of slows down a little bit. And then the same thing from college to NFL, it just starts to slow down after a little bit.
Did you have a welcome to the NFL moment?
Oh God, I probably had a handful of them my rookie year. I do remember there was one. I'm sure there were a couple my first few games, but with the Eagles, week 3 or 4, whatever it was, I was just doing a simple just zone reach against Fletcher Cox. And, usually you get your hands in, you start moving your feet a little bit. You'll maybe move the guy a little bit, and just enough for the running back to go and then just cut off your block.
Yep.
I go to block Fletcher, and he just sticks his arm out like this, and I'm just not moving at all, just sitting like this. And the running back, like, he pushed me back into the running back, and I tackled the running back, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta figure this out a little bit, because that was definitely welcome to the NFL moment.
Awesome. Who's your favorite teammate so far?
Oh God, we have there's so many good guys down in Tampa. Like, so many guys on our O-line you're just so close with. I could pick any of those guys, but like Graham Barton, our center, like just, I play right guard, he plays center. Like, he's a great dude. Love hanging out with him. Love playing ball with him. Or Luke Gedeke, our right tackle.
Yeah.
Probably, one of those two guys. Or Elijah Klein. He's one of our, backup linemen, but just great dude, great sense of humor. Like, just, I love hanging out with these guys. They're the best.
So you get to hang out with them outside of football as well?
Yeah, well, we'll go and do other things with each other and whatnot, which is fun to be able to do that. It's not just football. You can kind of go and hang out as just guys and hang out with each other's, girlfriends and whatnot. Like, everyone's kind of hanging out together, which is nice.
We got 2 more. What does a typical game day look like for you?
So, if it's a 1 o'clock game, so we rookies, second year guys, third year guys, you have to stay in the hotel the night before the game. So I've been staying in the hotel. You wake up at, I don't even know, 8 or so, go down to one of the conference rooms. We have breakfast there, and then I think a 1 o'clock game, I would probably usually get to the stadium around 9:30 or 10 maybe.
Sure.
And then a lot of guys, that's when you kind of start, if you got to do anything in the training room to kind of get ready for the game or go out on the field and kind of move around a little bit. I kind of get there relatively early, and I'll just sit in my locker and play some games on my phone to just kind of kill some time. And then I'll kind of go into, hit a massage, hit the chiropractor, hit some stuff to like warm up my back or warm up my knees or something like that. But yeah, pretty much then we go out and we start our typical like pregame routine at like 11:30 or 12 or so. So
okay,
yeah,
and that's an hour difference from here, right? It's a noon game for us.
Yeah, it's a noon game for Central Time. Yeah,
gotcha,
So that took a little bit to get used to too. You're used to like noon kickoff Sunday football. Now it's 1 o'clock kickoff. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way. Right. That's what Eastern Time zone, I guess.
I was confused when you said that.
Yeah,
I was like 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
no, that makes sense. So then game time comes. What about after the game?
Then after the game, usually pretty much get showered up and I'll go out to a little family area, talk to my family and whatnot for a little bit, and then pretty much drive home and meet my family back at my house, and we'll just kind of, hang out, go sit in the pool, sit in the hot tub or something, and then watch the Sunday night game usually. But that's kind of,
pretty chill.
Really chill. Just literally go home and just hang out with the family. Like it's usually what we do.
And then the last one that we have is, what is the craziest thing a fan has ever said or done to you?
Oh, goodness.
Or have you had any experiences like that?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say this one, but I was just on. We did this. There's they call it a Bucks cruise. It's just we went on a cruise out of Miami to the Bahamas to Key West, and just a bunch of Bucks fans go on it. And we went on it, and one of the nights there was some guy who wanted to put his finger in the little gap in my mouth. And
really?
I'm like, no, dude, like, I'm not going to let you do that.
That's interesting.
That is very
A couple
interesting.
beers later, I might have said, yeah, dude, yeah, absolutely, go ahead. So he did it, took a picture of it, and I'm like, all my buddies are like, dude, why would you let him do that? I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of a funny story. Now I can sit here and tell something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not the most sanitary thing in the world.
How did you lose your front teeth?
I lost him in a 7th grade basketball. Actually, here in Wyndmere, we were playing in the JV or the junior high conference tournament, and just I was diving for a loose ball and ran into one of my teammates who was also going for a loose ball, and just teeth kind of they were all sitting all loose in there, and went to the ER and they pulled them out, and never really took the steps to get them fixed, I guess.
Is there like a reason behind that, or you just don't?
Well, part of the reason was it happened when I was like, 11.
Right.
And you can't really get implants until your jaw stops growing. So I had to wait 6, 7, 8 years. And then by that time, you go most of your life with, I kind of had like a fake, like a retainer with fake teeth in there. And I did that for a while. And then just kind of stopped wearing that in college, and I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, whatever. I don't really.
Yeah, it's
I don't
like
really
you
care. It's
now.
kind of just part of me now.
Right,
so
exactly.
I feel like if you got teeth,
it'd be weird.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll probably I don't know if I'll ever get it fixed anymore.
That's awesome. The last thing that we want to do is we have 10 almost like senior superlative sort of things, most likely to kind of things, and you have to. We'll say it, and you'll have to connect a teammate to it.
From the Bucks.
From the Bucks.
Okay.
We could also do NDSU too if you'd like. If you have any guys.
I'll do Bucks if I can. If not, I'll throw in an NDSU guy.
Perfect.
most likely to be prom king.
Prom king. Oh, geez.
Phoenix.
Probably Baker. Like,
Baker.
that's pretty. I feel like that's fitting.
Yeah, I would say that's
Yeah.
fitting too. All right, most likely to forget their cleats.
I feel like Luke Gedeke probably. Probably
Okay.
Luke. Yeah.
This is going to be good for the guys if they ever see
If-
this
yeah.
clip
Yeah.
or something.
Hopefully they don't. Catch some heat for this.
Yeah.
Class clown.
Tristan Wirfs, absolutely. Guy is a freaking comedian. Yeah.
Best locker room hype guy or the guy on the aux? Who's bringing the energy?
Probably. So back on the other corner of the locker room is kind of where the D line and some of like the secondary guys all are. And they're usually playing music over there, but what they'll do a lot of times is they have like a karaoke machine and they'll just like freestyle and I'll be sitting there in my locker and you just hear a guy like Jose Ramirez, he's like a outside linebacker for us, just freestyling.
Oh my
so
goodness.
like probably a guy like Jose.
That's hilarious. Most likely to fake an injury to skip conditioning.
Oh shoot, Luke Gedeke does that already. I mean, not actually, but
Yeah.
I'd say Luke.
Okay.
Most likely to become an influencer. Do you have anyone? Do any of them like
Not
throw
really.
out their
TikToks.
phones?
I don't really know many guys who do, but I feel like a guy who could do it is like if Tristan Wirfs started doing it. I mean, people are going to tune into it, and I feel like he kind of has the personality to. Not that he's going to be out here doing dances and whatnot,
Yeah.
but I mean, everyone would love to see like a day in the life with like Tristan.
Sure. I was going to say you'd almost have to go Phoenix at NDSU.
Oh yeah, Phoenix. I mean, guy, that's what he does. You know,
Yeah.
everyone loves that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we got two more. Most likely to show up in cowboy boots to practice.
Oh shoot, Cody Mauch. He's a tight end from Iowa, went to Minnesota. Big, just
Cowboy.
He's a ginger. Oh yeah, like he's cowboy boots, the whole denim on denim. Like that's a Cody Mauch thing to do.
That's awesome. You don't see that very often. I feel
No,
like.
yeah, Co's coming to my wedding this week, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Most likely to end up on The Bachelor.
Oh, goodness. I actually had a college friend, Andy Voyen, so he was a receiver at NDSU who was on the Love Island USA thing
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
years ago. So, I mean, he literally
about
did
that.
that. Like, it's kind of crazy that he ever like went with that route. But I mean, it suited him. Like, he was good at it, and
Yeah.
So probably Andy.
It's kind of cool to be, even though we're from such a small town, it's like you have these connections with these people, at NDSU that go on to do different cool
Right,
things
like
too.
literally whatever it is. Like
Yeah,
it was just
so random.
weird to tune into Love Island and see one of your buddies up there. Like it's like, what the hell is this?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more thing. It's rapid fire questions.
Yep.
So you just got quick answers.
Yep.
Favorite stadium that you've played in?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. One pregame ritual that you do every time.
I got this stupid little golf game on my phone that I'll always rip off a couple games before.
Which game is it?
It's Golf Battle.
Golf
it's like
Battle?
I think it's a little like putting kind of game. It's the stupidest game ever, but I always rip that
Every
day of
time?
the game. Yep. I don't know
Really?
why. It's just kind of my locker room kill time thing.
Most underrated lineman in the league.
Luke Gedeke for sure. Our right tackle.
Perfect. Your go-to post-game meal.
Big dinner box from Pizza Hut. I'll get home,
Pizza
and
Hut.
I hate to say it, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
you burn all these calories. Pizza Hut, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then would you rather pick up a fumble or catch a pass?
Catch pass, absolutely. That's the dream right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen where a guy caught a pass a couple years ago and he didn't report or something and then it didn't count?
I think it was the Lions had something like that this
Yeah.
last year. Dan
Yep.
Skipper, there's some issue with their reporting as eligible, and I don't remember the whole deal with that. But yeah, I caught a pass in college. I caught a 2-point conversion one time.
I didn't know
So I
that.
mean,
That's
like,
cool.
just got to relive that feeling.
Yeah.
Like, that's the dream right
It
there.
could happen too if it's off a tip or something.
I think
like
so.
that.
Yeah.
That'd be
So it's
cool.
like anytime a ball is tipped, you kind of gotta like, this is our moment. Like, this could happen. Yeah.
What advice would you give to a small town kid who has dreams of playing it big time in the NFL?
I'd say you just gotta work at it. Like, you gotta start, working out early. You have to absolutely love what you're doing. Like, you gotta love the grind of getting up and lifting and practice and all that, building just like good habits, and like that'll get you to college. And then you gotta just hit it even harder in college. Like, you gotta. not saying you got to be all about football all the time, but it's got to be one of the biggest priorities in your life. And you got to you got to love it, because if it's something that, you're doing all the time, like if you don't love it and you're just doing it for, to be in the NFL or whatever, like it might not work out. You got to you got to love it so much, I think is the thing.
Awesome. Well, we just want to thank you for coming on. Not all guys are willing to set this aside a week before your wedding.
Yeah, so thank you.
Like that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming. This was a great time. We learned a lot, and it was awesome to be able to talk to you about all this. I think it'll also hit the local following, because Hankinson's 20 miles away
20
from
miles.
where
Yep.
we're at,
Yep.
and we got a huge local following. So hopefully everyone really enjoyed this podcast.
No,
So
thank
awesome.
you guys. I had a blast. This was awesome.
One thing we do at the end of every show, we're sponsored by Giant Snacks, so that bag of seasoning will hook you up with some taco flavors as well.
Let's go. I love it. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys for watching the Beyond the Spotlight podcast. Make sure you like and comment down below what you thought of this episode. Click subscribe, and we'll see you next Monday at 6 p.m.
Peace.
Peace.
Sweet. Fellas,
go.
thank you.